Good morning.
Good morning. Mike, David Moore, Gals Morning News.
Aren't you the guy that's on the Mike McCarthy show? I just heard about it. I just came from there. So.
How much you pay? Did you just
That's
pay
what I was shocked. You think with my name on the show, you think I'd have a little bit of input into this.
He's been doing it for 5 years.
Yeah, I know. That's a problem. That's the problem. That's the problem with my input. So you can see how much input I have.
So, David Moore, Dallas Morning News.
Yeah, it's good to see you.
No, yeah, good to see you. We always ask you about C.D. Lamb all the time, but can you talk about the role that Brandon Cooks has kind of carved in this offense from you, especially from like the second half of last season after you had a chance to see him for a while?
Yeah, definitely. I just think like anything, you have a new player come into your system. And obviously he has so much to offer, especially, you look at his background, the production he's had in this league, the different systems he's played in, and it's about fit, and, something I always felt strongly about the criteria of the ability of the receivers to play, all four slots, especially three slots for sure. And, whether the fourth one being special teams or ability to go in the backfield and just to do more, because at the end of the day, you want to line up and you want to play conceptually because that's the way you train your quarterback. And in every passing game that I've ever been a part of, it's about making that quarterback successful. So, and Brandon brings that to the umpteenth. I mean, he so smart, just knows the game inside and out. Whether we're talking about route running techniques and different looks, coverages, beaters and things, as far as protection. So just has a great understanding of the game. Has done it, has done it different ways, which I think is very helpful, particularly when you get into helping younger players grow. Because when you can say, hey, I've seen it done this way and I've seen it done another way. Because the reality of it is, whether you're talking about run game techniques or coverage techniques, there's usually two ways to do things in this league, and some people just believe, in how it fits to everything else. So. And then the biggest part of it too is his leadership in the locker room. So, great leader, great human being. So he's a big part of our football team.
And when we talk about stats a lot, we usually focus on the numbers. But I mean, I think this is going to be his 150th game in the NFL, which is
it's remarkable.
Very few.
Yeah, you get 100 games in this league. That's a tremendous career. So speaks volumes to his work ethic, and just the way he takes care of himself. So he's always working.
Clarence Hill, All City, Dallas. Can you talk about the importance of stopping the Saints' run game? I mean, they rushed for 180 yards last week. Alvin Kamara with the challenge. Because you led the league in pressures last week, but you got to stop the run to earn the right.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you look at the way they're built. You look at the history of the offense. I mean, that's going to be the starting point. And that's definitely a big focus for us. So their ability to stretch in one cut. They do a great job formationally. And really the personnel utilization as far as attacking your C gap. So that's what really jumps off the film. So it's just the formation creativity, the motion landmarks, the shifts and the motion. So your C gap is constantly under attack.
Mike Todd Archer with ESPN. How much do you talk about the importance of home success, and why do you think you guys have been so good at home the last couple of years?
I mean, I don't rely on it. I guess is my immediate response. I mean, I talk about it because playing at home, it's a different schedule. There's benefits and attributes of playing at home. There's other stressors of being at home. So, yeah, I'm all about the the administrative and application of how we train, taking it into the game, and then as far as the game goes, it's AT&T is just a phenomenal environment. We got unbelievable fans. So I don't sit there and harp on it. As far as act like it's gonna then just throw your helmet in the middle of the field type mindset. I think that would be foolish. But it's just really because this is really our first week on a 7-day schedule. It's our first home week, so I'm always concerned just to make sure parking passes, how to get to the same. I mean, just the plan because, you work all week. Everybody prepares their ass off. You want everybody to flow into the game and, emotionally be ready to go. The physical and mental part, the work is being done. But you want everybody in there with the right mindset, with the right vibe.
Do you expect Ferguson and Nealon to be able to do anything for you today?
They're still going to be working with Britt today, and then we'll see how the early part goes. Potentially, get some work at some point into the practice. I think we're going to make a decision right after media leaves. So.
Yeah, I'm Shoto with The Athletic. You guys didn't make a ton of moves in March, but you added Eric Hendricks. Was that just kind of a no-brainer because of Zimmer? And then have you gotten what you were expecting when you guys did sign him?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Eric, that was that was a big get for us, especially the timing of it and everything that went into that. So, and you could see the impact that he made on game day, but his impact was felt immediately when we start installing the defense. So, yes, can't say enough about him. He's off to a great start. He's just an awesome fit for us. True pro, same guy every day. Just as far as working relationship from what I see. But yeah, he's made a big impact on our defense.
Calvin Watkins, Dallas Morning News. We talk a lot about Micah Parsons around here, but it seems as if DeMarcus Lawrence had a pretty good game. Just your thoughts about how steady he's been since
Yeah, DeMarcus Lawrence, D-Law was our game ball winner. So, and obviously Micah had a heck of a game too, so it was part of that conversation. But, when you really break down his play, I mean, his pressures, his ability to attack the football both in the run and the pass rush is, he's a role model, for our younger players, and his production numbers speak for themselves. But yeah, D-Law had a hell of a game.
So, game balls, are you doing it differently how you present that? 'Cause I don't think you did one after the game.
Yeah, but I don't recall. Very rarely do we do one after the game. I mean, it's something unique. We have always looked at the tape and the coaches vote on the game balls. So I hope you guys are okay with that. I mean, because coaches, they put together a plan. I think they have a pretty good idea who plays well. So we figure that's a good process, and we present it to the team on Mondays. So.
Saudis, The Athletic. Mike, I'm sure it varies by position, but what have you seen from the biggest adjustment for rookies, not just on the field, but off the field to becoming pros that first year?
Just, establishing your routine. There's so much that goes into that. And number one, just look at the length. They go into their senior season. Obviously, they put a lot into that. And then as soon as that's over, they got to train for the draft. And so, they're kind of on this nonstop, spinning wheel. And it's the busiest year of their life from athletics standpoint. So I think just staying in tune. So there's so many things that go into that, and that's why they talk about the rookie wall, and I've seen it happen. So that's why I talk so much about scheduling and getting into a rhythm. Get your routine in order. That's why we spend the time that we do and really rely on our veterans in the locker room to make sure that they're letting the guys, the young guys know to fill in the blanks in the gray area when things come up.
You've raved about this rookie class, and you talked about the veterans, but specifically having veterans at the position like Guyton and Beebe have the guys on the offensive line, Leofau at the linebackers, and Carson at cornerback. How much does that play a role? Do you delegate a lot of your messaging through the positions like that?
Well, delegate messaging. Messaging is constant from the head coach all the way through the whole coaching operations and locker room. It's important. That's why you have leadership councils. That's why you have coaching staff meetings, and because it's critical, because you want the same level of accountability through every position room. But the reality of it is, in the NFL, and it's been like this as long as I've been here, the offensive line room is a lot different than the defensive back room. So, and just from a personality standpoint, so you have team operation focal points that need to be the same, but you got to be in tune with the fact that personalities, teaching methods are really different to different. You go to the quarterback room, that's going to be different than the D-line room. So just being in touch with that. Actually, one of the big points that O2X, the human performance company that was in here, they couldn't believe how different each room was, compared to their world, how everything has to be the same. It's an interesting component of group dynamics that you have to be on top of.
Garrett.
Garrett Bodell, CBS Sports. Mike, you've talked about with Dak the growth, and he talked about in the spring. He's at the 500 level, or second year of the offense. What are some check marks or evaluation points you'd like to see him hit throughout the year to really display that kind of growth?
I think the biggest thing now when you reach a standard of play is just playing to that level with the consistency of it. You want to stay away from the peaks and valleys. I think that's the next step.
Ed.
Mike Ed Werder, WFAA. Taysom Hill came into the NFL with you in Green Bay. That was his first training camp. What was your evaluation of him then, and how has he evolved into sort of a multi-role player that he is now?
I mean, we thought he was a hell of a quarterback. Number one, he frankly, I think every year when you sit down at the end of training camp, I know it's the way I've done it. You have 58, 59, 60. There's different numbers each year. Obviously, where you players that you feel like that they've really earned the opportunity to be on the 53, and Tyson was one of those guys. I mean, he clearly played well. I think he may have led the league, the whole NFL, in rushing in the preseason. I mean, he played extremely well that year, and frankly, we thought we'd try to slide him onto the practice squad, and that lasted about 2 minutes. So, and then he's still in New Orleans doing, but his career, what he's done is, it's been awesome to watch from afar. But, he came in as an older player, obviously very mature, but, I really liked him as a quarterback, and I think what Sean and now Clint's doing with him down there is awesome to watch, because I think just like anything in life, the more value that you can add, obviously your job security will go a little longer. So he's mastered that, but he's a weapon. I mean he is a weapon. He does a lot of things. He's a bigger man than when I had him in training camp. But like I said, I thought he was a very good young quarterback prospect at that time.
Aaron.
Aaron Kasnet's Lone Star Live. Mike, you said, I think on Monday, that you would have liked to get Deuce Vaughn more touches. Why is he somebody that you want to make sure you include? And then also, how did he grade out on his?
Well, the biggest thing I thought about Monday was getting the running backs more touches, and obviously Deuce would have been one of them. If you look at the way the second half, I mean, when our performance on third down, I mean, we didn't have enough touches, period, for the whole offense. So, but yeah, definitely. I mean, Deuce is up on the 48, 49. You definitely want him involved. So, I think the biggest thing is, ball distribution is something that we spend a lot of time on projecting, but the reality is you got to go play the game, and third down usually factors that.
How did Deuce grade out on the special team snaps that he played?
I'd say he did fine. Yeah, he did fine.
All right. Thank you, Mike.